Hey, Tony Gaskins here, popping in. You know what? Got this question from a few different ladies, and I don't know why y'all ask this question. What you want to hear? You want to hear about yourself? You want to hear about somebody else? I think what it is sometimes is when I'm preparing women about the red flags of grown boys, you have that certain type of woman that she get tired of hearing about men and she wants something to be turned on to the woman. I don't know what that's called when you just you want you some blame. You want you some blame. And I'll be honest with you. Women ain't perfect. Women are not perfect by far. It's a lot that women do wrong. But it's a lot of movements today that's just bashing women and out to get women and seduce and trick women. So that's why I take the other approach of speaking to the man, because I'm a man, and preparing you about grown boys because I was a grown boy. And it's some men that they get mad with me and they say, Tony, you think women perfect? Y'all, man, women do this too, women do that too. And it just, a lot of it is just not true, to be honest with you. Like, they say women cheat as much as men, and I've seen women say that. And it's like, no, sister, you might cheat as much as men. But I know for a fact women don't cheat as much as men, because if women cheat as much as men, I would have never been turned down in my life by a woman who say, I got a boyfriend. I heard that all the time. And when I tell you that women of all walks of life, all ages, all races, all skin tones, all body types have told me, I got a man, I got a boyfriend. And some, a lot of them, majority of them, will tell you without even looking at you. You standing right here in front of them. Yes, excuse me. I got a boyfriend. Got a boyfriend. Taken. Taken. And just keep walking. You really don't hear too many men, and maybe you and your friend group, now it might be two or three of y'all ladies, go out to the mall and, nah, okay, this is the hard part right here now. Make sure, I don't know how to say that. Uh have somebody told you that you cute, that you beautiful. Now, if you've heard that, then in this season right now, you might not be considered looks challenged. Now, understand what I'm saying now, because I know y'all ready to go. Oh, everything got to be about looks. What I'm saying is, everybody had a season, okay? Sometimes light skin in, sometimes dark skin in, sometimes pale in, sometimes tall in, short in, voluptuous, toothpick. It's all kind of stuff that's in. It just changed with the media, with the movies, okay? If you are in season and you're not out of season, if you out of season, don't mean you look challenged, you just out of season, okay? But if you in season, maybe get you a group of two or three, or 3 to 4 women, and y'all go to the mall, and y'all do a social experiment to where the best looking of the bunch, y'all vote who look the best. Y'all gonna approach men, and you approach 10 different men while they sitting down, while they standing somewhere chill, and ask that man, shoot your shot. Ask that man for his phone number. Ask him for his phone number, and then see how many men say I'm married or I'm taken. Now, here's the thing. You might get that answer if he feels like you looks challenged. Or you're going to get that answer if he's taken, like myself, and he's faithful. This is my left hand in case the camera got me flipped. If he's taken and he's faithful. Even if he's taken and he's faithful, he might pause for a few seconds. I'm I'm actually married. Yeah, not sure how much that matters, but yeah, I'm married. He might give you that right there, and you like, but that really was the war inside of him. He was in spiritual warfare right there. You hear me? Men and women different. Men and women are different. Women can be savages. I understand that. But when I look at this, and I do this every day as a professional relationship coach, from coaching celebrities to everyday people who have, a normal life and don't have to sign autographs and take pictures or whatever. And so I see across the board, and men and women are different. And when it comes to relationships, on average, women are better at relationships than men. That just is what it is. But see, here's what men go to holler about. Oh, you think women all perfect? You think all these women don't cheat? Women cheat like men? No, they don't. No, they don't. No, they don't. Yes, you went and chose somebody who worked in the sex industry, and then you got cheated on. You went and plucked the offer pole. You got to offer that nasty website. That's her lifestyle. What you expect her to do? Or you went and got this woman that you know is out of your league, that you know she think you looks challenged, but because you wanted a treat, but because you want your fantasy, so yeah, she ended up cheating on you because she tried to tell you for 6 months that she didn't want your butt, but you kept sniffing behind her booty, chasing her, and then wouldn't let her go, and then you want to be crazy, and so when she finally cheated on you, now you want to, oh, women ain't worth nothing. Women ain't worth nothing. No, if you just would have dated the woman that wanted you, you wouldn't have got cheated on. But you kept chasing after this woman over here. That's what happened with a lot of men, and they don't want to understand that. They don't want to admit that. You got cheated on because you was with a woman that did not want you. And she tried to make that clear to you, but you didn't want to hear that because you wanted what you wanted. See there? And that's what happened most of the time. Because let me tell you, I have coached women who work in the industry. That industry where you get paid. Yes. And they are faithful to their man. I have coached women who slide down a pole for a living, and they faithful to their man. So men and women different. But the ladies ask me, they say, hey, tell us some of the toxic traits of women. Now I'm gonna tell you now, it's a difference here. It's a difference here because it's some things that's toxic and some things that's just annoying that could be seen as toxic by a man. He may just lump them all in together. So from the light to the heavy, we'll go from the light to the heavy. So what I want you to understand is on the light side of this here is just being, and I don't have these written down. I probably should have wrote them down. Get my old pen and paper, see if I can write some of these here down. Y'all give me a little second. I'm trying not to forget nothing. Okay. And so mm-hmm. 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 3, let's see. Thing. We'll start with the first one. What I come up with was nagging. Now, a lot of women, y'all don't like to hear this. And understand, y'all ain't gonna like to hear none of this, what I got to tell you today. You ain't gonna like to hear any of what I have to tell you today. Because some of this may step on your toes. Just sit with it, okay? The truth only steps on your toes when you walk out of line. Y'all ask the question, I'm answering the question for you, okay? So, but here's the thing. If you could watch my videos and see what type of man I am and the way I think and the way I move, the way I carry myself. If you don't want a man that's nothing like me, if you want a man that is nothing like me, then this don't apply to you, okay? But if you want a man that has a similar mindset, similar view on life and maturity or responsibility, whatever it may be, then this gonna apply to you. Because it's one thing about men. It's only two types of men. It's grown boys and it's grown men. Grown boys don't know they're grown boys a lot of times. Some of them do. I've had plenty of them tell me, I know I'm a grown boy. I know I'm a grown boy. I'm cool with it. But a lot of grown boys think they're a grown man. But really, they just a scarred, broken, hurt man because they was hurt by their ex and now they trying to take it out on every other woman. And just because the first time they loved a woman, she dogged them out. But what he's not even understanding why that happened. He don't understand because he was trying to get a woman that didn't want him and then he was looking down on the women who did want him. And that's why he got hurt. That's just what happens. I'm going to get hurt if I go to all 32 or 30 NBA teams and try out. I'm going to get hurt at 5'10", 11 with some good shoes on. My feelings have not played basketball since my 11th grade year of high school. I'm going to get hurt if I go try out for 32 NBA teams. I'm going to get hurt if I go try out for 32 NFL teams. Have not played since I was in college at 21 years old and then put on 30 pounds. And since then, done lost all my speed. And my feelings is going to be hurt. And that's what these men don't understand a lot of times. So there's a lot of these movements that's going at women in an attacking way for the wrong reasons. And that's why I try to stay away from it, because I don't ever want to be lumped in with an old scarred, hurt, bitter man. And so this right here coming from the perspective of a real man, a grown man, coming from love. Now this number one is nagging. Now, and what I mean by nagging is the type of woman that always got an opinion. Why are you doing it like that instead of doing it like this? Why are you doing it that way? Why don't you do it like this? Why don't you do this? Why don't you do that? Hey, you should be doing this. Hey, you should be doing that. Hey, you should be doing it. No man want to feel like you his mom and you trying to raise him. Like you trying to tell him every little thing without him even asking. And you could just maybe make a little face or something, or give a little look, or just a little well, just right there, that's enough. He already know. All right, tell me what you're thinking. Tell me what you think. This is what he's gonna say. Tell me what you're thinking. Be honest with me. Be honest with me. Because now you done let him inquire within. Whereas before he even asked you, why are you doing like this? You should do it like this. Why are you doing like this? You should do it like this. What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? And just always being a know-it-all. And you got to ask yourself, and you got to think about it. Well, where does this come from? Because in a lot of cases, it could be that's what your mom did. That's what your dad did. That's what your ex did. That's what your coach did. Your teacher, your mentor, whoever. Somebody was always nitpicking on you. So now you want to nitpick on somebody else because you saw them people or that person as like a person of authority, a position of power. And so now that you got an opinion, you want to raise this man, you want to nitpick, and you can't do that. You cannot do that. So think about this here thing, okay? And understand this, where you going. And you got to be open to be able to hear this. You can't be, nagging could be synonymous with just being a know-it-all and just always having the spirit of beg to differ. That's annoying. You got to understand when you should beg to differ and when you should just let it be. Like if it's a life-altering decision this man is getting ready to make, then you could beg to differ. But if it's just something like he'd rather put jelly on both pieces of bread and then try to put peanut butter on top of the jelly, not understanding that when he rubbed that peanut butter, it's finna wipe off all the jelly. Just let him struggle through that. He's going to find that. Instead of you, hold on, what are you doing? What are you doing? Let me show you how to do this. Let me show you how to do this. And then he like, and then now when he get ready to make his bologna sandwich, hold on, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? Why are you putting mayonnaise on both sides of bread? You really only need it on one side of bread. Always trying to control the situation. A man finna. And the thing about it is, the crazy thing about men ought to just leave. Men ought to just leave. But men hate being alone. Men hate being alone because a man was not created to be alone. That's why God probably looked at Adam and was like, this man is so miserable. This man over here talking to that goat. He been talking to that goat for 8 hours. That goat ain't said a word. Just looking at Adam like he crazy. You know what? Adam, come here. Come here, bro. Lay down. Okay, let me get this real. That's what God had to do because he looked at man and realized man cannot be alone. And so that's what it is today. Like, men just struggle being alone. Men struggle being alone. A lot of times when a man is okay being alone, he's either extremely mature, or he's gone through so much in his life, or he's warring in his spirit. He's battling with something himself, whether it's his sexuality, whether it's, spiritual warfare, and he needs to be alone because anybody in his life would end up a casualty of his spiritual warfare. But other than that, a man wants to be with a woman. And so what'll happen is when you nagging and you nitpicking and you always trying to control and dominate the situation to where is what people say, oh, she wear the pants in their relationship. When people start saying that, that's when as a woman, you about to have some problems. And here's the thing. This is the crazy thing that a lot of women don't understand. Is a man will go cheat on you, and he'll be cheating on you and having a full-fledged affair just to get back at you in his mind. And if you're in this position, or you ever been in this position where you feel like you got his, and you twist him, and you feel like you the woman and you done got whole, and that's what you think, you being cheated on left and right. He probably siphoning money out your account. You don't even know about it. He probably putting a little gram of sugar in your tank every day. And it just, well, when it finally time out and go all the way out on you, he out of town on business and you stuck on the side of the road and got to sit there for 2 hours waiting on the tow truck. Listen, he gonna get you. He gonna get you back. Or you might have a real man that's gonna say, look, you just not the woman for me. I'm up out of here. And if that's the case, let him go. Let him go. If you done nagged them out the door, you done nitpicked them out the door, let them go. That must be what you wanted. Now, on the other side of this thing here, the next thing that I would mention is insecurity. Listen, one of the things that men cannot stand is old insecure woman. Now, here's the thing. It's caveats and nuances. Now here's the caveat. Okay. Don't let a man make you think your intuition is an insecurity. Now, see, what I mean by that is, okay, listen to me. Listen to me now. Okay. Let's say he coming home late, an hour and a half every night. But that check coming in every 2 weeks, the same amount as if he only worked 40 hours. But he basically putting in an extra 5 hours a week. So in that month, that's supposed to be an extra 20 hours of work at time and a half. But that ain't what his check's showing. So your intuition like, and he coming home different. He at one extreme or the other. He either very annoyed and on edge, pins and needles, or he overly happy and smiley and cheesy, and you like, what's going on with this man here? What's going on? That's your intuition that's letting you know he cheating on you. Now, when you go to speak on that, oh my goodness, you're so insecure. How can you be that insecure? I cannot believe this. See, this is why men like me, good men like me, can't be with a woman like you, because you're so insecure. But you see all the red flags. You got all the evidence that you need to know this man up to something. Okay. And this t-shirt probably up under the video. I don't know if they keep it there from Teespring, but I had to go and make these caveats and nuances. And so you probably sitting there and you know right from wrong, your intuition has let you know what's going on, and he tried to make you feel like you crazy. But here's the thing. If you can identify and you see really, you look at your behavior, you look at your conversation, and you realize that you accusing him and you blaming him of stuff and you pulling stuff out of thin air, and you know, he made a phone call yesterday to order food and you forgot that he ordered the food, and you get his phone and you like, Pizza Hut. Oh, this code for Felicia Henderson. I know Felicia Henderson. She works with me. And you met her at the company barbecue. And then you want to put her in your phone as Pizza Hut? You know, and you reaching and you grabbing stuff and you just making stuff up. And deep down when you look in the mirror, you like, yeah, I know I made that one up, but I had to just test him. I just want to see how he respond. I want to see and then you dig deeper and you realize you just did that because your ex cheated on you. And you didn't catch him because you loved him so much. You weren't suspecting anything with your ex. And then boom, woman come calling your phone telling you she been with your man long as you been with your man. And you like, what? And I've been loving you down and cooking and cleaning and flipping and tossing and sucking and ducking, and you been cheating? So now you with this man here and you accusing him stuff he ain't came close to doing. He ain't even thought about it. It's the first 6 months. He's still trying to get used to you, and you accusing him of having a full-fledged affair. Guess what? That right there, that insecurity, that's a toxic trait women have, and it's gonna cost you, because either one or two things gonna happen. In the rare case you got a real man, he gonna tell you I can't do this and he gonna leave you. On the flip side of it, he gonna go and do what you've been accusing him of doing, and he gonna do it and get away with it and be laughing at you while he doing it because you been accusing him the whole time. So this is the thing, and then he gonna blame you for having a lack of integrity and a lack of character to go do what he doing. Yes, I understand that don't make no sense, but that's the reality of the situation. Now, here's another thing, what I put on here. Yelling and cursing. We'll put this in the same boat because a lot of y'all don't get this right here. A lot of y'all don't get this. Okay. A toxic trait that a lot of women have is yelling and cursing. When you get into something and here you go to all out your, oh, you did this and you did that and you trying me. Who you think this is? And now you reenacting the scene that you seen on Lust and Hip Hop or Atlanta House Girlfriends, and now you reenacting that and you think it's gonna fly. No, you getting ready to lose you a man. You getting ready to run you a man off. Now if he ain't worth nothing, okay, cool. But if he a good man and you just letting a normal situation blow out of hand and you want to scream and yell or fuss and cuss, you getting ready to run you a good man off. Because I done told you. See, a lot of times women will say to me, well, Tony, it ain't no men out there that think like you and carry themselves like you, and it is. But they only looking for a certain type of woman. My wife ain't never yelled at me, ain't never cursed at me. And I would not be here today with her if she did have a habit of yelling and cursing. If she didn't check her insecurities, she had insecurities. It's things she can nag about. If she didn't check all that, we wouldn't be together. We celebrating 13 years of marriage this month. March 30th, will make 13 years of marriage. I might post a special video on that day. I probably won't do it on that day, but I may have it go up on that day to let you know the keys to the success. And a lot of it right here now, y'all make sure you pre-order A Woman's Influence. Make sure you pre-order that. But listen to me, let me help you understand something now. And it's some of the, I would say, negative traits that some women have. And when it comes to yelling, that means a lack of emotional intelligence. So the way a good man will think is, a good man is always thinking about his children and the example that a woman will be in the child's life. So instead of getting in your feelings and feeling like I'm asking you to be perfect, no, I'm asking you to be a good role model, because that's what a good man is going to ask of you. Like, I had to get on to my wife a few times just about other little words like the word crap or dang or darn. Like, when I was growing up, I couldn't even say lie. We had to say telling a story. Stop telling stories. You telling a story. Whereas, my son say, my 6-year-old say, are you lying? Are you telling lies? He got a little voice thing he like to do. Are you telling lies? Lies was a curse word when I was growing up, but the world didn't change. Now, I don't let them say any real words, but even when I hear them say lie, it make me cringe because of how I was raised. But my wife, she heard cursing growing up. She hear cursing, from her family. My mom and daddy never cursed. Never said a curse word. And so unless they was mad and arguing or something, that was just when I was real young, like before the age of 6. So guess what? A good man who is a man of God that y'all say y'all want, a real man of God doesn't curse. Just point blank period. Because what is cursing? Cursing is profanity. What is God? God is sacred, holy, and righteous. You can't mix the sacred with the profane. So that's why a good man, like a real man of God, is not going to be using profanity. Now, if he get mad or, he playing Mr. Nasty late night, then okay, you might, that's special circumstances. But just in his day-to-day conversation, just talking, just shooting the breeze, he's not going to be cursing. You're not going to hear that. So understand that. And what you have to realize is he is looking for a woman that can be a role model to y'all's children. Or if he already has children, or if you have children, he is looking for a woman that's going to set a good example. So if you yelling, then that scares the children. It scares them, and they like, whoa, what's going on? If you cursing, you teaching them bad language so that when they get into something in school, they yelling and cursing the classmates out, yelling and cursing the teacher out, and it come from you, and you don't even realize where it come from. And so a lot of women don't understand that's a red flag for a good man. Me personally, I could not be with a woman that cursed, but it's so many women who support me that, curse like a sailor. But that's your personal choice in this life. So what that means is that you will have to be with a man who curse. And if he curses, then he gonna be a certain type of man, which is a different type of man from me, because I don't curse. And I don't curse just because I feel like, as a man, I feel like it's immature. I feel like it's irresponsible. And to be honest with you, when I really stopped cursing, when I watched the Malcolm X movie. And I'm Christian. I ain't even Muslim. But the man told Malcolm X when he was in prison, he said, a man curses because he lacks the vocabulary to express what's on his mind. Woo, that thing hit me. I say, listen, I don't want to be no dummy. I do not want to be no dummy. I need the vocabulary. Even though it's going to be country, I need the vocabulary to express what's on my mind without using a curse word. So I don't curse at all. And so understand that. And so understand where this coming from now. So you ain't got to argue with me. So if you believe in cursing and you like to curse and you don't think it mean nothing, okay, cool. If you want a man that is the opposite of the type of man that I am, like a man who thinks different than me, think the opposite and carry himself the opposite and all of that right there, then this ain't for you. So you ain't got to argue and debate with me, because I'm already married. Okay, you see her right here. I'm already married. Okay, so this is the only one I'm really worried about. I'm just answering y'all question. People who kept saying, tell us about the toxic traits that women exhibit, okay? Because they want to know what a real man is looking for. If that's not you, be quiet. You okay? And here's the thing. It's some of my top supporters that curse. But they understand that that's their choice. They understand that they may still be, growing in certain areas of their life. And they also understand, hey, this Tony, he just sharing his opinion. Now, the other part of this is a toxic trait is women who drink too much. Drink to the point of, you slobbing, you ready to fall over, all of that. Again, irresponsibility, irrational behavior, poor role model, and that's gonna cost you. That's gonna cost you with a real man. So it's okay. Like, my wife was able to have a drink at like 12 years old because she come from that type of Jamaican family, with her dad. He is an Indian Jamaican, and they drink their wine. And so he introduced his daughters to wine and little drink early on. And that was his parenting method, to let them taste it so that when they become adults, it wouldn't be like this forbidden fruit that they go crazy on. And I saw how that played out. So like today, my wife doesn't really drink. Like, and if she have a glass of wine, she don't even finish it. And it's because it's not really a thing to her. Because whereas I've heard stories tell her, some of my close family members who was raised, devout, strict Christian, couldn't do nothing. They ain't wasn't around no kind of drink, wasn't around no nothing, and get grown and got to be carried out the club from over drinking. My wife has never been there because she experienced it at a young age, realized what it tastes like, that it wasn't the greatest taste, realized the purpose of it, and and she watched her father live his life nowhere near a drunk, nowhere near it, drink for social relaxation and earn millions of dollars in his lifetime. But you got some women who it became a habit, and whatever it may be, any type of substance. Now think about this. It's not just drinking. It could also be smoking. It could also be pain pills. It could also be whatever it may be that you are addicted to. That can really cost you a relationship with a good man, because if you unstable in your ways, or if you addicted to things that's going to cut your life short, then you hurting yourself. But see, this is the thing. This is why we can't be unequally yoked. Because see, here's the thing. You got some women who, they believe in smoking. Ain't nothing wrong with smoking. They smoking hookahs, weed, all this different stuff, and then drinking like a fish. And then guess what? They end up with that type of man who smokes and drinks. So a man who smoke weed gonna tell you as a woman that, oh, I think it's sexy if a woman smoke weed. Man, that mean that she cool, she chill, she relaxed. I think that's sexy. But guess what? That same type of man that got that issue with that smoking is the same type of man that's gonna be cheating on you. Yeah. Left, right, front, and center. And this is the thing. And women ask me this. Oh, so Tony, you are telling me that because my boyfriend smokes weed, he's cheating on me? Yes, that is what I'm telling you. That's what I'm telling you. Because the easiest thing for a man to do is cheat. That's the easiest thing. That is the easiest thing. Like a man who lives a pristine lifestyle, a man who eats clean. He could be vegan, vegetarian, pescatarian. You hear me? Intermittent fasting. a man who eats perfect, who works out 7 days a week, who reads his Bible 7 days a week, who does not curse, does not drink, does not smoke, that man cheats. That man is capable of cheating. He can do it's harder for a man to smoke weed than it is to cheat. Like, it's more of a choice. It's more of a decision. It takes more of a risk-taking. It's more of a risk-taking behavior to smoke weed than it is to cheat. So if a man will do something that will cut his life short, like blacken his lungs, affect his mind, affect his mental state, alter his brain chemistry and what his brain is releasing into his bloodstream through either getting drunk or getting high. If a man will do that, he absolutely 100% will cheat on you. Point blank period. I'm in the trenches. I'm out here. I'm a man. I didn't drink, smoke, or curse. I didn't even curse. And I was one of the biggest womanizers. Because that was like an innate thing. It was like, that came like walking. That came like talking, sleeping around. Like, for a man, that's totally different. That's totally different. And then you're going to have some men like, oh, I never cheat, but I smoke weed. And I, what I'm saying? I have me something to drink. I get drunk now, but I never cheat on my woman. He lying. And if he is getting drunk and high, and he does not cheat, the only reason why he not cheating is because he insecure about Lil Jimmy. That's why. So if you got you a man that you honestly feel like is not cheating, and that coincides with Lil Jimmy, that's why. But if all that right there taken care of below the waist, if all that right there is happy and confident and where he needed to be, cheating the easiest thing in the world. So it's way easier to not smoke, to not drink, to not curse than it is to not sleep around because of how a man is wired. And this may make no sense to a woman. And it's always women who come in to tell me that doesn't make sense. It is not that hard. It is not that hard. And I'm like, when have you been a man? How can you speak for a man? You ain't never been a man. Now, your boyfriend, your fiance, your husband will come in the comments and tell that lie for you because he don't want you to suspect anything. So your cousin, your brother, your boyfriend who you tell this to, and he just mad at me for having a voice and having a platform, he'll come and tell that lie. But behind closed doors, every man know. Every man know. I ain't never met a man in my life that say it's the easiest thing in the world for him to not cheat. Never met a man in my life one-on-one behind closed doors as men. Because men know. Men know how that temptation is. But it's a lot of men, those same men that may be tempted to cheat, ain't tempted at all to smoke or to drink. Now, let me help you understand. It's more that go into this now. So when you think about it, another toxic behavior that a lot of women have, that not a lot, but some women have, is being loud, just loud and boisterous. And what I mean by that is attention seeking. Like, it's okay to have a voice that carries. I'm not saying that. But when you attention seeking, it's because that'll push a man away because you attention seeking from a place of lack, from a place of true insecurity. So you trying to be seen and you trying to be heard. And what I mean by being seen is if you dressing very seductive, a way that's gonna be turning heads based on how much skin you showing, how much cleavage you showing, because you want attention for your body that you work hard for, or that is just genetic, but you want that attention because you like when people ooh and ah and compliment you and chase you. And a lot of women will get in relationship but still be wanting that outside attention from others because they feel so insecure. That's the same thing with some men who get them an 8-pack and always want to have their shirt off. And it's like what we used to call gonna catch a cute cold. You about to catch a cute cold trying to show skin just because you done work for you a little body. And that right there, that attention seeking behavior, being super loud and being, all of that right there, that'll run a man off. That'll run a man off. Now I'm gonna tell you another toxic behavior. I ain't got all these written down, and I realize when I write down, it'll slow me down, it'll throw me off. Is negative Nancy. Negative Nancy. Always seeing the glass half empty. Always got something to say, something to argue about, something to debate about. Being negative Nancy. That'll run a man off. That will run a man off. Being doubting Dana. That'll run a man off. Especially if you got you a good man, an ambitious man. It's okay to speak your mind. And that's what I love about my wife. She will, like, I'll say stuff, and a lot of times I'm just joking. I will ride past, Sonny's barbecue down here in the South. I don't know if Sonny's everywhere, but a lot of Sonny's got closed down because, you got that good Q in there. You got that good barbecue in there, so you're going to have you some roaches. You got to deal with roaches when you got that good barbecue sitting around. And so a lot of Sonny's barbecue gets shut down because of roaches. Roach infestation of the building. So it's a Sonny's by us that got shut down. And I ride past, I'm like, hey, I want that Sonny's. I'm going to open that Sonny's. I'm going to turn that into Tony G's Corner Kitchen. And I'm kind of just talking. And my wife would be like, no, you're not. No, you're not. We are not doing that. You already had a restaurant. You saw how that went. We're not doing that. You got to wait till you got money to flush down somebody's toilet before you try to do another restaurant. So let it go. And I'm just kind of talking. But if she said, oh yeah, absolutely, do that. And I'm like, I probably would have went on ahead and do it. But that's another red flag now for a woman who can't speak her mind. So you got to be able to speak your mind. So a lot of stuff I say, my wife, it's like she just grab an arrow out of back, just bust my bubble, and some of the stuff I really want to do, and she'll shoot it out. And we got us a corporate office for mymentor.life. Link in the description. Book your session with a coach. mymentor.life. And the corporate office is not cheap. But she let me do it. She let me do it because it's a good look. It's a place where interns and staff can work out of. If they in our city, it's somewhere I could work out of. It's somewhere I could do my meetings. It's somewhere I could do recordings and, recording for my courses. And it's something we could do. She let me do it. So that right there is not being negative Nancy or doubting Dana. It's just she using her wisdom for stuff that makes sense. And what happens is a lot of times if you get an ambitious man who he's willing to work, he's willing to grind, but you the type of woman that's just so negative, so controlling, then you're going to lose that good man. So you got to know when to say no and to reel him back in, and when to encourage him and speak life into him and support him in that vision. Because when you look at men, like Jeff Bezos wouldn't be Jeff Bezos with Amazon had it not been for the love and support of his wife. I think it was either about her idea or her first investment on the money or something like that. But he wouldn't be who he is without her. Bill Gates will tell you the same. I think Warren Buffett started early on, but still, your wife got to be there because you gonna do what your wife says do because she's the closest person to you. So a man is gonna look at a woman and say, okay, is she overly negative? Is she pessimistic? Is she always doubting? Is she always controlling? Does she always have a spirit of beg to differ? But at the same time, is she strong? Is she vocal about her true and real feelings in a respectful and honest way? So it's a balance. It's not saying just be quiet and get ran over, but it's saying know when to speak up and how to speak up, when to speak in a time of peace, when to express yourself without being condescending and trying to take shots and talk down to the man, but to present the pros and the cons. And so like everything I want to do, my wife has basically just told me it's a time for it. Like you're going to be able to do everything you want to do, but you're going to know when it's time. So instead of going and stressing myself and stretching myself too thin, like if I want to have a Tony Gaskins Academy building that's like a college on the street corner that people can come and get training in all these different topics, life, love, and business in the building, that they come in and go to class and they get certificates that can count as continued education on their job. If I want to have that, I can do that one day, but today ain't the day. Is basically what she'll tell me. You'll know when it's the right time, when it's time to launch something like that. And so that's what a man really is looking for in a woman, is not just a woman that's going to lay down and let him do whatever, but a woman that has that balance, a woman's influence. And so think about this now. And here's the thing. The overall message here is, as a woman, you really should not have or would not have toxic traits, just like a man would not have toxic traits if you do the work. If you look at your pain points in your life and you identify the pain points in your life, and then you see how they are showing up in your life today, and you look at all of your actions in your life today, look at your personality, look at the way you carry yourself and analyze it, right? And when you analyze it, you say, where does this come from? And I'll give you an example. I use myself as an example, and you kind of do this. So I was the type, and I may still be the type, where I get in a meeting and I'm talking to a network, or I'm talking to a casting director, and I go to singing all my praises. I go to bragging. I go to bragging. I'm this, I'm this, I'm this, I'm this, I'm that, I'm that, I'm that. And I do this, and I do this. And it'll come from a place of arrogance. And the reason why is really because arrogance is rooted in insecurity. So the reason why I would do that, and the reason why I would take that posture and I would talk down or condescend or be arrogant, is because I would sense that this person think I'm country and I'm dumb, and they trying to get over on me. Now, that could have been true, but I shouldn't have reacted in the way I reacted. I should have stayed emotionally intelligent and cool, calm, and collected, and just stated what I didn't want and what I won't accept, and don't really have to express why and run down my list of accolades and all my numbers, because the person I'm talking to already know. But see, I didn't know that because I couldn't see myself from the outside looking in. So I was acting out of insecurity, which came off as arrogance. And I would do that when I felt like I was in the room with a snake or a shark and they were trying to take advantage. Instead of me being cool, calm, and collected with a humble confidence. See, it's a difference. And my wife, she started to tell me. She said, babe, when you go into a room, they know everything about you. They don't watch your YouTube videos. They done looked at your Facebook and see that you got 1.7 million and over 900,000 on Instagram and over 300,000 on Twitter. That's what their job is. They done research you. They done Googled you and Googled your net worth, even though it's lower than it's supposed to be online, but somebody put that up there. They done saw that. They done saw the picture of, you and Oprah when you went and told your story. They done Googled and saw all your quotes that's archived around places online. And she kind of run it down for me, and I'm running it down for you. But she'll run it down for me and say, so you don't have to posture. They know exactly who they in the room with. They know if they trying you. So just instead of, getting angry, getting upset and coming off arrogant, just say, nah, I don't think that's gonna work. I'm gonna really need X amount. And when you say that, they know exactly why you need that and exactly why you feel that way. So my wife had to speak that into me, but I had to realize where that's coming from. So guess what? If you loudmouth and boisterous, you got to ask yourself, why am I loudmouth and boisterous? Where is it coming from? Were you overlooked as a child? Were you insecure? Were you seen as looks challenged, the ugly duckling? Were you treated that way? Were you alienated, ostracized? Or did you get attention for a certain thing, a certain body part? Your booty, your thighs, your breasts, your smile, your eyes, your ears. Where did this come from, this behavior today? If you smoke, if you get drunk, and that's why I don't say drink, I say get drunk, because you can drink. Jesus turned water into wine. They drank wine. It just was a sin to become a wine bibbler. You hear a wine guzzler, a drunkard. But people drink socially, and it's not gonna ruin your life. I don't believe in smoking socially because that's gonna ruin them lungs. Okay, so think about this. Go to the root of it, and if you do the work, you won't have toxic traits. You won't have to worry about that because you're operating from a place of self-love, because you've addressed your pain points. You've addressed your insecurities. You've addressed your past pain and trauma. So now in the present, you're able to operate from a place of healthy love, self-love, healing, abundant thinking. You see what I mean? Because you've done the work. But when you are domineering, controlling, yelling, screaming, cursing, condescending, disrespectful, cheating, lying, manipulating, deceiving, it all comes from somewhere. Somebody abandoned you, somebody cheated on you, somebody abused you physically, sexually, emotionally, mentally, some kind of way. Somebody did something to you that hurt you. And that's what you have to realize. That's what you got to understand, is that if you operating from that place, it's going to run off a good man. But if you address it and you start to heal from it, and let me help you understand, okay, this is a two-edged sword. You know what they used to call catch-22. I ain't never really understand catch-22 and double-edged sword, but this is what it's going to mean to me right now, okay? Because my wife showed me this, and this is what she'll do. She would be so nice and so sweet. Like conversation just flow like water. I mean, it just beautiful, sweet as honey, and it just will just flow. She would not debate. She would not argue. She would not condescend. She would not interject. She would not disrespect. She was just perfect conversationalist, beautiful spirit. That's how she is now. Beautiful spirit. And well, now that she know me a little more, she'll cut me off. She'll interject a little bit, and I kind of have to keep stopping her, baby. Hold on now, I ain't done now. But she is not disrespectful or condescending. But guess what? If you try her in an instant, she'll show you a whole nother side. And she'll check you in a heartbeat. And it's weird because it's like, hold on. This person was so sweet and kind and nice that I thought she was a pushover. But then when I tried her, she turned into King Cobra. Like, whoa, what in the world happened? That's what I mean when you address your pain points and you have healed, you know how to be humble, but you're not weak. You still strong and confident. And that's what I had to learn in my life. And that's how I've become in my life. And I know people, I'm so easy to work with, so chill. But then when you try me like a basil, I'm on your neck. I'm letting you know. And they're like, whoa. And then they try to flip it. Wow, Tony, oh my goodness, I can't believe that you said that. I never saw. No, you've been trying me. I was being nice with you now, but you want to try me like a fool. Had to show you I ain't no fool. Just because I'm country and I'm nice don't mean I'm dumb. Okay? And that's where you got to get to. Get to that place. And so to wrap this up and make this plain, a man like myself, men out here who thinking positive, desire to be 100% faithful, desire to serve and please God. Men like myself, we don't want a woman who is attention seeking in her behavior or her dress, how she's dressing, how she's behaving in public. We don't want a woman who is a yelling and cursing type of woman. We don't want a woman who gets drunk, who smokes anything, even a vape. We don't want a woman who is doing any of that. We don't want a woman who is abusing pills or any other type of substance. We don't want a woman who is insecure to the point that she can't love herself, to where she want to change every single thing about herself. Meaning, it's okay to enhance yourself and enhance beauty, but you don't have to reconstruct everything about you. You know, if the Lord gave you thin lips, you want to get you a little plump, okay, but don't go get lips my size when you know the Lord didn't give you no lips. If the Lord didn't give you no booty, he gave somebody the mind to create a gym. Go to the gym and do the Stairmaster and do the squats and then see what the Lord gonna bless you with, instead of going and getting on the table and getting and going to Dr. Miami. Like, love yourself enough to do what you can do. And then what you can't do, then if you need to consult an esthetician, beautician, whatever they're called, to enhance beauty, that's fine. But a man want a woman who has self-love, not self-hate. A woman who is doing things for her, not because of Instagram and what she's seeing other women who may be hurting, lost, and confused doing. And this woman, just because she has a following and just because men liking her picture, don't mean that's what real men want. A woman who is all into vanity and operating from pain and insecurity. So, hey, understand that. I don't know if this video gonna be up. If you got this far, put "be blessed" in the comments. God bless you. We'll talk soon.